Hey everyone, and welcome to another GTA Online Career Progress Tier 4 Challenge Guide. Today we're going over the ULP missions, or Operation Paper Trail, how to complete the 80% accuracy, no snacks and armor, and 50% damage taken challenges all in one go for the most part, so let's get right into it. For the first mission, Intelligence, this is going to be really easy for you as long as you maintain stealth throughout the whole mission and don't get a wanted level. Before going to the FIB building, you need to grab the disguise so that you can be stealthy, and you get that from the construction site. On the upper floors, don't feel like you need to sneak around the enemies. You can just kill them with a suppressed pistol if you really want to, at least the ones that are in your way. And if you do it this way, you should not garner yourself a wanted level at all. On the next part of the mission, if you want to avoid an altercation, you must destroy the FIB fuse boxes. One is on the side of the building here. You can either shoot it or walk up to it and disable it. I would probably try to walk up to it to disable it so it doesn't affect your accuracy. The other one is above the mule truck, and you should be able to climb up to it through the crevice in the roof like I did and disable it that way, or you can shoot it, your choice. Inside, you'll have to just find a couple of items in the dark, which isn't that hard, but it can be time consuming if you struggle to find them. And after that, you just need to drive the hardware to the drop off point, and if you did everything flawlessly, you should have taken no damage and have all the challenges done for that one. For counterintelligence, the first part is self-explanatory, hacking the drones and getting to the motel. When you wake up in the van, you need to quickly hop in the driver's seat, and do not drive in the direction of all the cops. That is a bad idea. Instead, take the exact route that I do here, smashing through the fence, and then ultimately making it onto the highway. If there are tons of cops that spawn right in front of you, you can go off-road to avoid being shot by them. And once you make it far enough down the highway, you want to transfer over to the train tracks for pretty much the rest of the journey, which will also help you lose the cops at the same time. Just find a nice place to stop so you can easily lose them. The cops won't really wander off-road on the tracks to find you, luckily. And once you do end up losing them, that's all there is to that mission. Moving on to Extraction, make sure to bring either an armored Kuruma or something like the Monstrosity that has good bullet protection for the later part. In the garage, the evidence you need is in the car, so just get in the car and drive out. From there, you will have 3 different GPS locations to where the agent is potentially being held. Once you find the right one, just drive around until you find the agent. You should be safe from 95% of the gunfire while you do this because you're in an armored car. And with both of you now protected from bullets in the car, you just have to drive to the hospital, losing the cops along the way. I had to just go in the sewers to lose them upon arriving to the city. But this mission you can beat without even firing a bullet. It's really easy. In Asset Seizure, you will have to find a van in a pretty large circle driving around the city. To make the search area smaller, you can go to the signal jammers and destroy them. That is entirely up to you how you want to do it. It's possible to find the van without taking out any jammers. I personally just blew up Jammer D, and only that one because I could do it by throwing a sticky bomb from the safety of my vehicle, and I didn't have to worry about getting shot and taking damage. And that made the circle a little smaller so I could then find it. And the way you can pinpoint it is by looking at the direction the circle is moving and then comparing it to the road that can be going in that exact direction. The van also isn't going to be the same van each time. I was lucky enough to get the Rumpo van for my objective, but there's also one with the Boxville, which could obviously be a bit slower. And once you're in the van, it's just a matter of avoiding getting shot, because there are a lot of enemies that come after you now. I found that utilizing proximity mines and throwing them behind you to take out the pursuers works great. Just really pay attention to your minimap and be ready to swerve out of the way when you need to when the enemies spawn in front of you. That brings us to Operation Paper Trail, which I would say is by far the hardest mission to do solo while completing these objectives. Before the mission starts, bring with you an armored Kuruma and a thermal scope for your heavy sniper Mark II. Trust me, you're going to need both of those. You absolutely need to do the entire first part of the mission in stealth, carefully taking out every enemy you can with a silenced weapon. One of them is going to drop a keycard that you will use to climb to the next floor, and I recommend taking out all the enemies here even if you don't have to, so there's less shooting at you later. Also, before you go up to the second floor using the keycard, I highly recommend taking your car and parking it on the other side of the construction site near Simeon's, not where mine is right now. You'll see why later. For the second floor, same thing. You will need to take out every enemy without alerting the others, so just take your time and carefully dispose of them. On the top floor, you will be instantly spotted, and there will be a guy right from the get-go ready to shoot you when you spawn up there, so be ready to kill him quick, otherwise he can do a ton of damage to you. In this part, your best friend is going to be the grenade launcher, and blind firing it will cause you to be able to rapid fire the grenades. You can also use the ceiling to hit some really nice bank shots on the ones behind cover. However, some enemies will only appear when you move up, so when the time is right, move up and quickly take cover again to finish taking out the rest of the enemies. When going up to the very top of the construction building, only go up to the point where the helicopter turns red on the minimap, then run and jump off the building in the direction of where your car is. Don't worry about damaging the helicopter at all. And this is why you don't want to put your car where I did. There is a guy down there that spawns in afterwards who will light you up on the way down when you're parachuting, which is damage that you can avoid by putting your car on the other side and jumping down that way instead. Once you get in the armored car, don't go straight to the objective. Go where I go in the footage, up on the hill. And this is where the thermal sniper comes into play. Carefully take out the enemies that are exposed on the rooftop across from you, including the guys in the helicopter. The helicopter you're not going to be able to blow up, so you need to snipe them. If the enemies are behind cover, you can zoom in on them with the thermal sniper, immediately swap to a homing rocket, and then shoot it at the cover, and it should blow them up. Also be careful of the enemy vehicles that spawn in. You'll need to take them out too before they shoot you. And after the rooftop is cleared off, hop back in your car and head to the ladder. If another enemy vehicle spawns in while you're going over to the ladder, have him chase you around the block a bit to give you some time to get to the rooftop. You don't want to just get out while he's right behind you because you're going to take a lot of damage that way. But on the rooftop, you shouldn't run into any more enemies. They should all be below you now. You might hear a drone noise, which will make you paranoid, but I think that's just a bug because there's no drone up here that I saw. On the exit, 2 enemies will try to climb up the ladder right here, and you can just pop them once they make it up before heading down yourself. And then get in your Kuruma once again to drive to the drop-off. I will say this will likely take you a few tries at least. If you can't complete all of the challenges in one go, like the damage taken one, that's fine. You can always replay on easy difficulty to make the enemies not as strong and not as accurate, which will of course make it a lot easier for you. And now for the final mission, cleanup. This one can be tricky, but I don't think it's anywhere near as hard as the previous one. Inside the base, you absolutely need to dispose of every Juggernaut on the way to the main area. The ones that are in the open, you should take out the assault rifle and shoot them to build up your accuracy for that challenge. And pay very close attention to the enemy Juggernauts behind the locked doors too. To check if one is behind a door, just walk up to it and you'll be able to hear the Darth Vader breathing noises through the door. And for these ones, you're going to need to kill them with the RPG utilizing the blast radius of it. In the main area, after getting the power back on, make sure to also go around and take out any Juggernauts that may just be sitting there. You want to fight the least amount of Juggernauts as possible on the way out when they are activated. But unfortunately, you are going to have to fight some on the way out regardless of what you do in the mission, which sucks because the cover in this building really works against you. Blind firing anything doesn't really work because the cover's too tall and you'll just kill yourself. It's also hard to toss grenades and sticky bombs over for the same reason. And just a simple peek on the Juggernauts behind cover can warrant you taking a lot of damage to avoid that challenge because it's a minigun. So you kind of have to get creative with how you take them out. Setting up traps is a good plan. A lot of the time you have to find some weird angle that you can shoot them at where they can't hit you. It's pretty risky. Just like for Operation Paper Trail, if you happen to fail the 50% damage challenge on hard mode, you can try again on easy to make the Juggernauts less powerful. The no snacks challenge is really easy to do on this one. Same with the accuracy, it's really just that 50% damage challenge that can be tough because of how fast the enemies can melt you with the minigun. Once you exit the missile silo, have your railgun or RPG ready to blast the Annihilator stealth, and then jump off and head to your car at a brisk pace because helicopters will spawn in chasing you while parachuting. And you should once again have an armored car or monstrosity waiting for you to protect you from enemy gunfire on your way to the IAA base. And that is going to complete the Tier 4 challenge for the Agent ULP missions. I would say out of all the mission strands so far, this is the second hardest, with the hardest being the Mercenaries ones. But we still do have the Lowrider missions and the Casino missions and Majazos, but those are easy, I already know. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like as well as subscribe to my channel for more GTA Online content. I want to give a huge shout out to my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.